One warning, one decision, and the entire world could change overnight. When Donald Trump issued a stark threat linked to the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway through which roughly 20% of the world's oil and a huge portion of liquefied natural gas flows, it wasn't just another headline. It was a raw assertion of power in the middle of an active conflict with Iran. President Trump didn't mince words. In expletive-filled posts and public remarks, he set firm deadlines for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to international shipping. He warned that failure to comply would trigger Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, massive strikes on critical Iranian infrastructure. He emphasized that countries benefiting from the strait should help secure it, while signaling U.S. willingness to escalate if needed. The message wasn't aimed only at Tehran. It echoed to allies, rivals like China, a major buyer of Iranian and Gulf oil, and the broader international community. The United States will not tolerate prolonged disruption to this vital choke point indefinitely. Was this a blunt warning born of frustration with stalled negotiations and Iranian actions like mining or attacking vessels? Or a calculated move designed to force concessions and deter further closure? Trump's language was direct and uncompromising: deadlines for reopening the strait, warnings of devastating strikes on power plants and bridges, and even statements suggesting that failure to comply could mean a whole civilization facing catastrophic consequences. This wasn't subtle diplomacy, it was high-stakes signaling. Can one statement from the leader of the world's most powerful nation really push the world closer to a wider conflict? Or is this calculated leverage in a dangerous game? Stick around, because today we're breaking down exactly what was said, why it matters, and how it could ripple into your gas tank, your grocery bill, and global stability. President Trump didn't mince words. In expletive-filled posts and public remarks, he set firm deadlines for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to international shipping. He warned that failure to comply would trigger Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, massive strikes on critical Iranian infrastructure. He emphasized that countries benefiting from the strait should help secure it, while signaling U.S. willingness to escalate if needed. The message wasn't aimed only at Tehran. It echoed to allies, rivals like China, a major buyer of Iranian and Gulf oil, and the broader international community. The United States will not tolerate prolonged disruption to this vital choke point indefinitely. Was this a blunt warning born of frustration with stalled negotiations and Iranian actions like mining or attacking vessels? Or a calculated move designed to force concessions and deter further closure? Global power isn't only measured in nuclear arsenals or troop numbers. In today's interconnected world, it's often about control of critical resources and routes, the narrow passages that keep the global economy breathing. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important. Nearly 1/5 of global oil transits here daily. Disruptions don't just affect the Middle East, they send shockwaves to factories in China, refineries in Europe, and drivers everywhere. What happens when that control is challenged publicly in the middle of a hot conflict? History shows that threats over choke points can quickly escalate from rhetoric to real economic pain or even military confrontation. Even the hint of prolonged disruption has already sent markets into turmoil. Oil prices have swung wildly, spiking on fears of closure, then reacting to every statement or negotiation rumor. Supply chains for energy, chemicals, and fertilizers feel the pressure immediately. If the strait stayed blocked or faced repeated threats, we could see fuel prices double or worse in some regions. That means higher costs for transportation, heating, manufacturing, and food production. Inflation could surge again, hitting households hard. Would your daily life change if fuel prices doubled overnight? Higher commuting costs, more expensive groceries, delayed deliveries, these aren't abstract risks. They're the direct consequences of instability in a single narrow waterway. A threat at this level forces every military in the region, and beyond, into heightened readiness. Navies prepare for escort missions, air forces stay on alert, and proxy groups weigh their options. Escalation is no longer theoretical, it's a live possibility. The U.S. has signaled willingness to use naval power to keep lanes open, while Iran has demonstrated its ability to disrupt traffic through mines, attacks on vessels, or other asymmetric means. How close is the world right now to another major conflict? One misstep, one intercepted vessel, or one retaliatory strike could widen the war dramatically. Allies are weighing risks carefully. Some Gulf partners urge strong action to neutralize threats. European and Asian nations dependent on Gulf energy worry about being drawn in or left exposed. Others call for de-escalation and diplomacy. Trump has pushed for burden sharing. Nations that benefit from secure shipping lanes should contribute to protecting them. Would global allies follow the U.S. lead into potential escalation, or resist and prioritize avoiding a broader war? Because what happens next in this crisis, whether the strait reopens smoothly, negotiations succeed, or tensions boil over, could affect you directly. Your energy bills, job security in trade-dependent industries, even the stability of global markets that underpin retirement accounts and investments. Or is secure freedom of navigation still the best guarantee? Leaders throughout history have used strong, even provocative language to signal strength, deter adversaries, and rally domestic support. Does blunt rhetoric prevent conflict by making intentions crystal clear and raising the perceived cost of defiance? Or does it risk provoking the very escalation it aims to avoid? Does strong language prevent war, or sometimes help provoke it? One statement. One choke point. Enormous global consequences. Trump's warnings reflect a worldview that prioritizes decisive leverage over prolonged entanglement. Whether this leads to a quicker resolution, a dangerous spiral, or a new normal in how superpowers handle maritime threats remains to be seen. Was this bold leadership in a chaotic world, or an unnecessary risk that could have been handled differently? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Like if you want more deep dives into global flashpoints, subscribe for balanced analysis, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching. Stay informed, because in today's world, knowledge is the ultimate strategic advantage. This is infinityaitv. Infinite stories. Infinite imagination. Subscribe for more news.